I don't want to have religion to play any role in public life. If you are religious, it's okay if you do it inside your house.
Or in a mosque,
You
or
don't.
it doesn't.
In political life.
But not in political
Not in
life.
the
That's
But
what
do
we
you
are
want-
not in the laws. You know this.
Do you want your
You have to-
politicians honest, for instance?
Yeah, but we have
Yeah,
had
but
a
not
very
because they are
extreme
religious.
tradition of Jewish, Roman Catholic politicians, and they did just the same, they made the same mistakes as everyone.
Well, they're human.
Yeah, but
and-
it has nothing
yeah.
to do with their faith.
No.
Well, it depends.
No,
I mean,
because
faith
in
is
Flanders
real.
you have a lot of guilt complexes about you should not do this, you should not do that, and that was because of religion. And now we have freed ourselves from these complexes.
Okay.
And I choose. I'm honest. I'm very peace loving. I'm tolerant, but it has to do with my human feeling. You said humanism. That's what I believe in, and not.
You believe in humanism.
Yeah, not kind of faith.
Where do those values, do you think, where do they come from?
From thinking with my brain.
Yeah.
And
But
from
where did that come from?
society.
No, where did the
Society.
thinking come from? I mean, where did those thoughts come from? Because some people...
I think you should be.
What's your name?
Ellen.
Ellen?
Ellen.
Some people don't have those thoughts at all. They're like you, they don't have religion, and they can literally, like Saddam Hussein is a good example of that. He could kill tens of thousands of people and still go to sleep at night. I mean, there's people like that in the world. Not everybody has these feelings. But I mean, I'm just curious, where do you think those real feelings come from? I mean, you can say thinking, but even thought, where does thought come from? Where?
From learning about things, from learning, from reading books, from education. We have learned about different.
So our primitive
study.
people, they don't have these feelings like some
I don't know, I have
Aboriginal
instincts,
people who
you
can't
have-
read or write in Australia.
No, but
Hold on, Aboriginal people who cannot read or write have no tradition of literacy.
Yeah, but they learn things in another way.
Okay, so it's not just reading.
When we say
They were peaceful in nature, they have a fantastic culture, but that's changed when English came in.
Right.
But what if other people who don't have these thoughts that you have, their actions affect you and may harm you? Doesn't it need some kind of higher order in order to prevent those people?
I believe in democracy, and I believe in our
Well, let me ask
legal
you
system.
something about democracy. For instance, in England, 80% of the English people were against bombing Iraq, and yet the government bombed
Yeah, that's
Iraq.
not democratic. We were against
I
bombing
mean,
Iraq.
so-
the next elections, I hope
they will lose.
Yeah, but
the
democracy is the best
elect
system, but it doesn't work in practice like it should. But it's the best solution of all worst solutions, I think. Democracy. So the idea of people. Yeah, the best
in
of
a
the
way
worst.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
Do you have an alternative for democracy to avoid all that?
Well,
Definitely.
I mean, I think, I personally, my personal belief is waking people up is you know, what I really feel the most important thing for me to be doing. Like trying to wake myself up and trying to wake others up. One, to alternative ways of looking at things, because I think that we should challenge ourselves constantly, always.
And what means do you have to wake up people?
How do you organize
To wake up? Well, part of
for
it is...
a whole community?
Yeah.
What is the
Politics,
best way
not
to do that?
Yeah, I don't,
Political
I'm
party, then.
very, politics, I don't like political parties very much.
So that's not
I
the way
think,
you-
I personally prefer communitarianism. I think that the best human beings are people that can monitor themselves. I would rather have people that actually have internal mechanisms that prevent them from stealing than have police that scare them into not stealing.
That's all.
But I also feel that in order to prevent the temptation of stealing, you have to have more just distribution of wealth. I think that in societies where we spend billions of dollars on weapons and we have old people begging in the streets, I think something is deeply wrong with our society.
We agree. We totally agree. But we see no practical alternative for that.
Well,
Because
see, this is where my faith enters in, and we can disagree about this, but for the sake of our argument, my faith enters in because I actually believe that there is a source behind all of this. I don't think this just came in from, it just popped into existence, or over millennia we kind of developed into these thinking. Very fascinating, very incredible. I mean, we have eyes, we can see each other. I come from California, I've never met you one time, and here we are speaking in language that we can both understand, and we're having thoughts and thinking. I mean, I find that very extraordinary, and I have a difficult time believing that was just a coincidence. And so I believe that source does communicate to us, and I believe it communicates to us in two ways. One is the way you're talking about. I believe that those thoughts that you have, even though you might not attribute them to that source, those thoughts of, I don't want to harm another person, I actually believe that you were created with those thoughts, that those are, in essence, what, in a more poetic language, we would call angelic thoughts.